These are the settings I chose for my personal dimension. I plan to mostly build up and out, so the 20 blocks for cabling should be plenty. To make building easier, I have decided to make the advanced electric jetpack. I got the titanium as a quest reward from the Space Race tab. I had quite the faff trying to get the jetpack in hover mode. You need to be holding space and the mode key in order to swap modes. In order to make HV energy hatches, I need to quickly make a fluid heater and an HV cutting machine. I made a large batch of PTFE so I could craft a large chemical reactor. I also made a distillation tower, but I lost the footage. Both multi-blocks were for this build. This is an oil to cetane boosted diesel setup. It all fits in one chunk, which is definitely something. I won't do a full rundown of the system, but I will go over a few of the quirks. The first being the 16 basic electrolyzers. This allows me to make all the oxygen I need for a single amp of HV. MV or HV would take less machines but would also take an extra amp or 2 amps of HV respectively. Another important decision that seems odd is the piping for oxygen. In order to make sure that the system didn't exclusively craft nitric oxide until it filled internal buffers, the system needs to be fed backwards. Lastly, the cetane-boosted diesel is stored in a somewhat tedious spot. This is just to make sure the system is always self-feeding. I eventually plan to have my world almost entirely powered by renewables because it sounds like a fun challenge, so eventually this will be torn down. But until I get a auto crafting set up, this is just a much easier process than manually crafting hundreds of solar panels. For now my base will remain unfinished. I ran out of materials and felt like progressing more than I felt like building. I will add more details and colors, but for now it will stay an unfinished white block. I plan on almost exclusively having the AE system and a few crafting and quality of life machines in here. But until I have an AE system to put in, it spreading out would only delay progress. So for the foreseeable future I will simply live in this cluttered mess. Machines are separate by tier and all have a shared power source and battery buffers. I have about 4 amps of HV being produced, however this large battery pack lets me exceed that limit in short bursts. And gathering all this lithium took about 2 veins of rock salt. Now my plan is to start working towards a beginner AE system. But that will have to wait for the next episode.